I think we're ready to go live. Let's go.
Welcome, Geshe, and welcome to all of our friends online. We'll begin by making 3 prostrations.
Om Namo Manjushri Namo Sushri Namo Shri Soha. Om Namo Manjushri Namo Sushri Namo Shri Soha.
So welcome again, Geshe, and we're delighted to have the opportunity to receive these teachings from you. And for our friends online, we'll continue to use the chat box as a question box. So just that's all that's going to be posted there. And if time allows, we will get to your questions. So when the prayers are posted on the screen, we'll begin. Obeisance to my Guru and Protector Manjushri, who holds to his heart a scriptural text symbolic of his seeing all things as they are, whose intelligence shines forth like the sun, unclouded by the 2 obscurations, who teaches in 60 ways with the loving compassion of a parent for his only child, all wanderers caught in the prison of samsara, confused in the darkness of their ignorance, overwhelmed by their constraint. You whose dragon thunder-like proclamation of Dharma arouses us from the stupor of our delusions and frees us from the iron chains of our karma, who wields the sword of wisdom, hewing down suffering wherever its sprouts appear, clearing away the darkness of ignorance. You whose princely body is adorned with the 112 marks of a Buddha, who has completed the stages achieving the highest perfection of a bodhisattva, who has been pure from the beginning. I bow down to you, O Manjushri, O Marapatsanadi. O Marapatsanadi. With the brilliance of your wisdom, O compassionate one, illuminate the darkness and music of my mind, awaken my intelligence and wisdom, so that I may gain insight into the Buddha's words and the texts that explain them. This ground anointed with perfume, flowers strewn Mount Meru, foreland sun and moon, imagined as a Buddha land and offered to you. May all beings enjoy this pure land. Venerable holy gurus, in the space of your truth body, from billowing clouds of your wisdom and love, let fall the rain of the profound and extensive Dharma, in whatever form is suitable for subduing sentient beings. Iram Guru Randa Mandalakam Niryatayami. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by listening to the Dharma, I will attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by listening to the Dharma, I will attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by listening to the Dharma, I will attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings.
Okay. Okay, regarding the meaning of the passage quoted from Precious Garland, that says, okay, teaching on the absence of production in the great vehicle. Okay, this is my translation. And teaching on the emptiness by way of extinction of aggregates in lesser vehicle sutra. In fact, they are the same in meaning. Therefore, be patient, accepting the Great Vehicle Sutra as Buddha's word. Okay, so so this shows. Okay. This particular quote, okay, one stanza shows, indicates that the teaching, okay, Buddha's teaching on the emptiness by way of extinction of aggregates. That is given in Lesser Vehicle Sutra, okay, and the teaching on the absence of production that is given in the Great Vehicle are in fact the same in the meaning. Okay, the meaning. Okay, their being. Okay, these two teachings, the teaching on the emptiness of the teaching on the absence of production, and the teaching on the teaching on the emptiness by way of extinction of aggregates are same in the meaning. Okay, because the meaning. Okay, the meaning by the meaning. Okay, by the absence of production. Okay, that is taught in the Great Vehicle simply refers to the absence of inherently existent production, and also the teaching on the teaching on the emptiness by way of extinction of aggregates in Lesser Vehicle Sutra simply refers to simply refers to simply refers to, I think, refers to, I think, refers to, I think, simply refers to, I see, okay, simply refers to the, okay.
Hello, Geshe, we lost you for a couple of minutes. Oh. Okay. Please unmute yourself, Geshe.
Okay, yeah. That's, internet is unstable, okay. So, okay, now, yeah, okay. I'm talking about this, the same meaning. The Nagarjuna taught in his precious garland that the teaching on the emptiness by way of extension of aggregates in Lesser Vehicle Sutra and teaching on the emptiness by way of the absence of production in Great Vehicle Sutra are same in meaning, okay? So what that means, teaching on the emptiness by way of absence of production and teaching on the emptiness by way of extinction of aggregates are same in meaning because both of them are same emptiness, okay? Both of them are same emptiness. If you attribute this emptiness to aggregates, okay? In terms of the emptiness of aggregates, okay? If you attribute in non-existence of absence of, I think, absence of inherently existent production, okay, to aggregates. So that very, quality, absence of inherently existent production that is attributed to aggregates is the emptiness of aggregates, okay? Likewise, when you attribute the emptiness that is taught by way of extension of aggregates is attributed to aggregates that in turn also also remains, okay, as the emptiness of aggregates, okay? So therefore, both of them are the same emptiness. There's no any difference with respect to the subtlety level, okay? And not only that, but also if you attribute this to one basis, okay? So both of them are, both of them will become, both of them, I think, turns out to be the same emptiness of the same basis. So same emptiness of that particular basis, I mean, okay. So, okay, now, no, okay, so this is, okay, this is the meaning, okay, this is the meaning, okay. In fact, they are the same meaning, means that, okay, same meaning in the sense that teaching on the emptiness by way of the absence of production and the teaching on the emptiness by way of extinction of aggregates are same in the meaning, okay, in the sense that all of these two teachings, okay, indicates, I think, shows the same emptiness, okay. There's no any subtlety, there's no any difference with respect to the subtlety level. That is, that is, how to say, that is taught, okay. That is taught by these two teachings, okay. Okay, so therefore, be patient accepting the Great Vehicle Sutra as Buddha's word, okay. That's okay. Then, okay, now then, okay, now, so now we need to recognize, okay, which one is the Hinayana Lesser Vehicle Sutra, where Buddha teaches emptiness by way of extinction of aggregates, okay. So there are many such cases, but one particular one is one such instance. One such instance is, okay, shown, or yeah, shown in, I think, in the commentary, Chandrakirti's commentary on 60 stanzas of reasoning, okay. So here I will read. A Lower Vehicle Sutra cited by Chandrakirti's commentary on 60 stanzas of reasoning says, this which is entire abandonment of these sufferings, okay. Number one, definite abandonment, purification, extinction, separation from desire, cessation, thorough pacification, disappearance, or these are 8. These 8 are taught in terms of this life, okay, in terms of present life, or in terms of present suffering or present contaminated aggregates. And then non-connection to other suffering, 1. Non-arising, 2. Non-production, 3. Is peace. Peace is the 4th one. This is auspiciousness. Auspiciousness is the 5th one. It is like this. The definite abandonment of all the aggregates is the 6th one. The extinction of cyclic existence, 7th one. Freedom from desire, 8th one. Cessation, 9th one. And the 10th one is nirvana. Okay. All these 10 characteristics are taught in terms of future suffering. Okay. So, okay. Commenting on this, Chandrakirti says that because the phrase, okay, commenting on this, commenting this way, okay. This, I mean, yeah, this means here 18. From this which entire abandonment of the suffering through cessation and nirvana, okay. So this passage, comment on this passage, Chandrakirti says that because the phrase these sufferings uses the proximate term these, the passage complete abandonment of these sufferings, definite abandonment, purification, extension, separation from desire, cessation, thorough pacification, disappearance, refers only to the sufferings or aggregates that exist presently in our own continuum. Okay. The passage non-connection to other suffering, non-arising, and non-production is peace. This is auspiciousness. It is like this, the definite abandonment of all the aggregates, the extension of cycle existence, freedom, desire, cessation, nirvana, refers to future suffering. Okay, all these 10 are taught in terms of future life. Okay, so so now with regard to the meaning of this, passage. Okay, now is your 18 characteristics or 18, I think, characteristics. And the first 8 are taught in terms of this life, or in terms of present aggregates. The next 10 are taught in terms of future life. Okay, so okay. Now here, when we say this, which is entire abandonment of these suffering. Okay, this is the first one. This, which is entire abandonment of these suffering. Okay, abandonment of these suffering. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Okay, what is the meaning of? Okay, we need to know the meaning of the statement which says, okay, which says this, which is entire abandonment of these sufferings. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, so we need to know what that means. Okay, so the meaning is that from the perspective of meditative equipoise, directly realizing emptiness in the continuum of a four destroyer, there's no any miserable aggregate. Okay, there's no any miserable, there's no any conventional nature, and so there's no any miserable, be it of this life or be it of next life. Okay, so there's no any miserable at all. So absence of, I think, the absence of aggregates from the perspective of such a meditative equipoise. I mean, the meditative equipoise directly realizing emptiness in the continuum of a four destroyer. Okay, so such a from the perspective of, I think, absence of aggregates from the perspective of meditative equipoise directly realizing emptiness in the continuum of a four destroyer is a subtle emptiness. Okay, subtle emptiness. So absence of aggregates from the viewpoint, absence of emptiness, absence of aggregates from the viewpoint of meditative equipoise directly realizing emptiness is the same as primordial extinction of inherently existent aggregates. Okay, so therefore, when Buddha is teaching this, okay, he is teaching this from the viewpoint of meditative equipoise directly realizing emptiness in the continuum of a four destroyer. Okay, so this sutra, okay, this particular sutra is teaching how lesser vehicle practitioners actualize cessation of affected emotions without remains. Okay, so here, Buddha is particularly teaching, okay, on the point that how Hinayana or lesser vehicle practitioners actualize cessation of afflicted emotions without remains. Okay, so the actualization of how okay, he teaches. Okay, so therefore, okay, so therefore this is a uncommon Oh yeah, this is uncommon, I think, presentation of how to actualize cessation of afflicted emotions without remains. Okay, so this is uncommon from other Buddhist schools systems. Okay, so this is uniquely okay. This is a unique, how to say, Prasangika Madhyamika's unique presentation of Prasangika Madhyamika's unique presentation of how to achieve cessation of afflicted emotions without remains. Okay, so at the same time, we also need to know, or we also need to keep in mind that the common presentation could be also established. Okay, common presentation. Okay, for instance, okay, Chitta Madhyams, mind only school, view holders of mind only school systems, and also view holders of autonomist, okay, autonomous school system, or the Madhyamika autonomist school system. Okay. Okay, so also, I mean, commonly, Prasangika Madhyamika, and okay, all, Prasangika Madhyamika school system, as school, okay, commonly, I think commonly,
So for our friends online, we're just waiting for the connection to be restored between ourselves and Geshe-la.
Oh, yeah.
Back Geshe La.
Oh, connection was lost, cut off. Hmm. Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Now, so, okay, talking about this, okay. Oh, yeah. Absence of aggregates from the viewpoint of meditative equipoise, directly realizing emptiness, is the same as primordial extension of inherently existent aggregates. Okay. So, so now I'm talking about this. How Hinayana, okay, practitioners actualize, how they actualize the cessation of afflicted emotions without remains. Okay, so Buddha, especially Buddha, taught on this, taught how to achieve, I think, cessation of afflicted emotions without remains. Okay, by Hinayana practitioners. Okay, so when he teach this, when he teach with respect to this particular passage, okay, quoted from commentary on commentary on 60 stanzas. Okay, Chandrakirti's commentary on 60 stanzas. Okay, so this particular passage from a sutra for hearers. Okay, so this particular passage, which talks about how to achieve nirvana in terms of, I think, how to achieve nirvana. Okay, how to achieve, I think, nirvana without remains. Okay, so here, okay, without remains. Okay, in this case, the first one. Okay, the first one is entire abandonment of these sufferings. Okay, entire abandonment of these sufferings. Okay, so this means in entire abandonment of these sufferings refers to, okay, non-existence of contaminated aggregates. Okay, from the perspective of the meditative equipoise, directly realizing emptiness in the continuum of a fourth destroyer. Okay, so such fourth destroyer actualizes, I think, cessation of afflicted emotions without remains, in the sense that he or she actualizes the cessation of afflicted emotions, while in the sense, I think, he or she actualizes cessation of afflicted emotions. Mm, uh, emotions, the cessation of afflicted emotions, and from the perspective of, I think, their own meditative equipoise, during realizing emptiness, there's no any conventional nature, including contaminated aggregates. So that's why it is called, or it is termed, or it is assigned as this cessation of afflictive emotions without remains. Okay, without remains means yes, without remains means that without having any kind of conventional remaining. Okay, that means okay, that means that means that okay, there's no conventional appearances. Okay, there's no appearance of any conventional nature from the perspective of meditative equipoise, directly realizing emptiness in the continuum of such for destroyer. Okay, so that is so that that particular okay cessation of afflictive emotion is assigned as this nirvana without remains. Okay. Okay, so Buddha, okay, Buddha, when Buddha teaches the first one, okay, he teaches how the nirvana is actualized, okay, how the nirvana without remains is actualized, okay, in terms of the perspective of those, in terms of perspective of wisdom directly realizing emptiness, okay. So, okay, here, okay, this is the, okay, 18, okay. 18 is the elaboration, okay. The 18 points are the 18, okay, this from, okay, this which is entire abandonment of this suffering through, I think, through cessation and nirvana, okay, is the elaboration, okay, is the elaboration or is the I think, detailed explanation, okay, detailed explanation on the brief introduction that was given earlier than this, okay, that was given, okay, before this passage, okay, that is that dagi interval dagi kiwas, okay, okay, means the brief outline, okay, brief introduction or brief outline, okay. Dagi kiwas interval means I have extinguished production, okay. This is one. For destroyers, remember that I have extinguished production or cyclic production. You can say cyclic production, or if you literally translate this into English, it would come out as I have extinguished production. In Tibetan, Dagi Kyose. For destroyers would say this, okay, usually. That means they are they recollect, okay. They are recollecting, I think, once they were in meditative equipoise, which is just free from the seeds of afflictive emotions, okay. And they remember that I have extinguished production. That means that indeed in this mode of memory, okay. In this memory, I think, okay. In this memory, they are recollecting, okay. Perspective, okay, of that meditative equipoise, okay. Perspective of meditative equipoise, realizing directly realizing emptiness, which is just which has just been okay and freed from the seeds of afflictive emotions. So I have extinguished production. Okay. Then the second one is that Sangparjoga means that I have accomplished 3 trainings, okay. Then third one is Chedagi Chawaji, means I have carried out all the activities. That is all the activities uh, that are, I think, all the activities which lead to liberation, okay. Then the last one is I do not know. I don't see, okay. I don't see future suffering. I don't see. The Siva Shem means this Siva Shem means I don't see any future suffering. Okay. So these are okay. So the first one is I extinguished production is the first one, the first brief outline. Okay. The last one is I don't see any future suffering, or I don't see future suffering. That is the fourth one. Okay. So these 2 lines. Okay. Those 2. Okay. So the 18. Okay. The 18 characteristics. The first 8 are elaboration of the statement which says I have extinguished production. Okay. Then the last 10. Okay. Last 10, I think. The last 10. Last 10 words, I think. Okay. Or characteristics are elaborated. Elaborated on the statement which conveys that I don't see future suffering. Okay. Okay. So these are also all of these are statements. These all statements are made from their first-hand experience by 4 destroyers. Okay. So okay. Okay. Now. Okay. So now. So okay. Okay. Now. Okay. So okay. In terms of I think in terms of uncommon liberation without remains. In terms of, I think, in terms of uncommon liberation without remains, I think also, if you would, I think order of the achievement with regard to the order of the attainment of 2 nirvanas, 2 cessations of afflictive emotions. The one is the cessation of afflictive emotions with remains, and the other one is without remains. Okay. So in terms of with I think in terms of uncommon liberation from liberation, uncommon cessation of afflictive emotions with remains and without remains. Okay. For destroyers, first achieve liberation without remains, and afterwards they achieve liberation with remains, okay? Because first they achieve liberation without remains because I think because the direct antidote to the seed of innate afflictive emotion and the meditative ego voice, which is immediately freed from the seed of afflictive emotions, are the same, how to say, same continuation, or they occur, I think, they occur within the one meditative session, okay. So therefore, okay, and okay. So therefore, liberation without remains is achieved first, okay, and then subsequently they achieve liberation with remains, because once they arise from that meditative equipoise, they see, okay, conventional nature, okay, they see conventional nature, and then as they see conventional nature appears inherently existent too for destroyers, okay, who have just been, how to say, who have just arose, who have just arisen from that meditative equipoise, okay. So the liberation in the continuum of for destroyer who has, I think, arisen from meditative equipoise is liberation with remains, okay. With remains with remains means, I think, he or she has the appearance of, I think, or she how to say, perceives, I think, okay. Oh no, not perceive, which means things appears as inherently existent to them, okay. So that's the uncommon presentation of true liberations, okay. So on top of that, there's also a common presentation of two different liberations. That can be, that I will say, that is, I think, accepted by all, okay, all Buddhist schools, including Sautrantika, Mind Only School, and Southern Tirga Madhyamikas, and also Prasangika Madhyamikas, okay. So the common presentation of true nirvana is that nirvana, okay, the liberation from cyclic existence, okay, as a liberation from cyclic existence. But whoever achieves it, but that who achieves that, I think, okay, liberation, okay, common two different liberations, okay. The common two different liberation would be that liberation, okay, the liberation from cyclic existence, okay. This is the main thing. But then there's still suffering, there's still, okay, there remains, I think, there remains contaminated aggregates which are projected by ignorance and compositional activity. Okay. So such liberation is considered to be liberation with remains. Okay. So that is common. We say common. Common liberation with remains. Common liberation without remains means that, okay. Common liberation with remains means liberation, okay. That must be the cessation of afflictive emotions, and whoever achieves it has contaminated aggregates which are propelled by previous ignorance and compositional action. Okay, now, now I think, okay. Now objection here. Okay. Sufferings and aggregates are general terms used here for their instances, the afflicted emotions. This is just an okay. If someone objects that, if someone objects to such person objects that, I think sufferings and aggregates are general terms used here for their instances, the afflicted emotions. So they are saying that, oh, in this case, suffering must be translated into the afflicted emotions, okay? So this is not good, see. So therefore they are saying that, entire abandonment of this suffering is entire abandonment of afflicted emotions. They're saying this. Okay. 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 This entire abandonment of afflicted emotions, which is by the path and does not refer to primordial extension of the aggregates. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the passage refers to they're saying this. In this case, aggregates refers to suffering, or aggregates refers to their instances, such as the afflicted emotions. Okay, so this passage refers to the abandonment of afflicted emotions that brought about by the path, and does not refer to primordial extension of the aggregates. Okay, primordial extension of the aggregates is not brought about by any kind of path. Okay, so here primordial extension of okay. Okay. Primordial extension of inherently existent aggregates. Okay. Primordial. Okay. Okay. Primordial extension. We should say primordial extension. Okay. Primordial extension of inherently existent aggregates. Okay. So this does not refer to primordial primordial extension of inherently existent aggregates. So response, this is not feasible, even though if general terms are not amenable to explanation with a general meaning, they must be explained as referring to their instances. Here are applicable, explicable, okay, in the context of general term, okay. So yes, that's right, okay. Thus I think, otherwise, okay. Otherwise, in accordance with the proponents of true existence, it would not be fitting to explain as primordial extension in the sense that the aggregates have been primordially without inherent existing production, as in material's sublime continuum. The afflicted emotions are primordially extinguished is explained. Okay. So otherwise, I think, in accordance with the proponents of true existence, okay, it would not be fitting to explain this particular sutra passage as primordial extension in the sense that the aggregates have been primordial without inherent existing production. As the line in material sublime continuum. Okay, the afflictive emotions are primordially extinguished. Explains. Okay, afflictive emotions are primordially extinguished. This is a material sublime. The passage from material sublime continuum. Okay, the line I think in material sublime continuum. The afflicted emotions are primordially extinguished, explains, okay. As I think. So this means afflicted emotions are primordially extinguished means that primordially extinguished. Primordial extinction of inherently existent aggregates. Okay. Or you can say afflicted emotions are primordially extinction of inherently existent afflicted emotions. Okay. So this afflicted emotions are primordially extinguished explains that afflicted emotions are primordially exist. No, I think this is not. The afflicted emotions are primordially extinguished. Explains, I think, explains the primordial extinction of inherently existent afflicted emotions. That's right, I think. Okay, yeah, I think I said this as in Tibetan. Okay, the afflicted emotions are primordially extinguished. Means the afflicted emotions are inherently primordially. It doesn't fit here. Okay, so I think the best way to translate is that I think primordial. I think primordial extinction of inherently existent afflictive emotion. Okay, so that is the meaning of the passage. The afflictive emotions are primordially extinguished. Okay, so rather I think it must be explained. Rather, it must be explained as a total abandonment of the aggregates by means of the path. Okay. Rather, it must incorrectly be explained as a total abandonment of the following. Rather, it must incorrectly be explained as a total abandonment of the aggregates by means of the path. Okay. If it is explained this way, then there are the following faults. When the nirvana that is to be actualized exists, okay, the actualizer would not exist. When the actualizer exists, the nirvana that is to be actualized would not exist because aggregates have not been extinguished. Okay, they are unable to explain this sutra. Okay, those proponents of true existence would not be able to explain this sutra, okay? Because this sutra mentions how to achieve liberation without remains, okay? If you, how to say, if you take, how to say, if you believe that this passage, okay, the passage from the Hinayana Sutra conveys the extinction of, okay, suffering or extinction of contaminated aggregates by path, okay. By path, okay. Then I think it would follow that when the actualizer is there, there's no liberation that is to be actualized. Okay. That particular liberation, okay, that is to be actualized. When that particular liberation is there, there's no actualizer because they assert that once those Hinayana, those I think the proponents of true existence. Okay. Here, proponents of true existence refers to Vaibhashika and Sotrantika. Okay. Vaibhashika and Sotrantika. Yeah, okay. So these two schools, lower two schools, okay. These lower two schools assert that when the contaminated psychophysical aggregate cease, there's no more any kind of aggregate left over, remains, any kind of aggregate remains, okay. So therefore, if this passage meant, I think, if this passage meant that I think that the cessation of contaminated aggregates by actualized by way of path, then when the nirvana is there, there's no actualizer, and when the actualizer is there, there's no nirvana that is to be actualized. Okay, because yeah, okay, because when the nirvana is there, there's no actualizer. Because if there is an actualizer, there must be aggregates. Okay, without any kind of aggregates, without any aggregate, there wouldn't be an actualizer. Okay, so so therefore they cannot also they cannot delineate. I think they cannot delineate the meaning of this passage. Okay. According to us, it is permissible to explain extinction here in accordance with the statement. Okay. Extinction is not by means of an antidote, by means of an antidote. It is so called because of primordial extension. Hence, we are able to explain well the meaning of the sutra. Okay. According to us means according to School, it is permissible to explain extension here in accordance with the statement. Extension in this case is not caused by means of an antidote. Okay, is not brought about by means of an antidote. Cause is not good. Extension in this case is not brought about by means of an antidote. It is so called because extension of aggregates, we say extension of aggregates. It is so called means it is called as extension of suffering or extinction of aggregates because of primordial extension. Primordial extension means that primordial extension of inherently existent aggregates. Hence, we are able to explain well the meaning of the sutra. Okay. Therefore, the teaching in Sutra of Nirvana, that is cessation of suffering, upon having taught such an extinction, and the teaching of cessation in the sense of an absence of inherently existent production are said by the superior Nagarjuna to be equivalent. Okay, because okay, here means to be equivalent. Okay, in Tibetan, to be same meaning. Okay, Tenchik in Tibetan, to be same meaning. The teaching of the cessation on the teaching of cessation in the sense of an absence of inherently existent production are said by the superior Nagarjuna to be same meaning. To be same meaning, okay. To be same meaning here refers to, okay, indicating or showing, indicating or teaching, I think, teaching on the emptiness of inherent existence. Okay. Okay. Teaching on the emptiness of inherent existence of production, and teaching on the emptiness by way of extinction of aggregates are the same. Okay. In the sense that they are the same emptiness. Because this statement appears not to have been understood, I have explained it in detail. Okay. Okay, now. So, okay. Also, Nagarjuna's treatise on the middle, in the advice to Katayana, exists, not exists, and both are rejected by the supermundane victor, knowing things and non-things. Okay, no, yeah, exists, not exist, and both are rejected by the supermundane victor who knows, I think, all things and non-things. Okay. So here, okay, exists refers to the extreme of existence, not exist refers to extreme of non-existence, and then both. Okay, both, all of those three are rejected by the supermundane victor who knows all things and all non-things. Thus, Nagarjuna teaches that a refutation of the two extremes is set forth in Lower Vehicle Sutra, which appears in the brief scriptures on discipline. Okay. Vinaya Shudra Vastu. Okay. Okay, now Lung Tenzin in Tibetan. Okay, so Nagarjuna teaches that a refutation of the two extremes that set forth in law. So okay. Okay, so yeah. So this is very clear, okay, that this passage from, okay, this is, we should say, this is exist, not exist, and both are rejected by Superman. This particular passage is quoted is from Nagarjuna's treatise on middle, okay, but it is saying that it conveys that a refutation of two extremes is set forth in a lower vehicle sutra, okay. So this particular, okay, reject, exist, not exist, and both are rejected by the supermundane, okay. It appears in the brief scriptures on discipline, okay. That means this meaning is, okay, all the words are not same, okay. This, you can say, this teaching, okay. The meaning of this, okay, exists, not exist, and both are rejected, okay. So where, okay, the rejection, okay, rejection of those three, okay, extremes, okay, rejection of those three extremes are taught by supermundane in Vinaya Shudravastu, okay, Lung Tenzin in Tibetan, okay. These are just illustrations. There are many sources, okay, many sources, okay. These are just illustrations. There are many in Nagarjuna's precious garland, many sources, I think, in Nagarjuna's precious garland, not quoted here, and many are also set forth in his 60 stanzas of reasoning and collection of praises. Okay, so the mention of the source, I think, source which shows that Hinayana Sutras or Lesser Vehicle Sutra teaches emptiness of inherent existence. Okay, there are many sources which teaches, I think, which which teaches or which conveys, I think, which conveys that Hinayana Sutra teaches on the emptiness of inherent existence. Okay, so many sources, such sources, such a many, I think, such many sources, I think, such many sources in Nagarjuna's precious garland, not quoted here. Okay, this is one thing. And then many other are also set forth in 60 stanzas of reasoning and collection of praises written by Nagarjuna. Now, dispelling objections to the teaching that hearers and souls realize the absence of existence of phenomena. Dispelling, okay, now the third section, I think, third section, okay. Third section is dispelling objections to the teaching that hearers and solitary realizer realize the absence of inherent existence of phenomena. This has two sections, okay. This has two subsections. This section has two parts. Dispelling objections set forth in Chandrakirti's commentary and dispelling objections not set forth there in Chandrakirti's commentary. Dispelling objections set forth in Chandrakirti's commentary, first one. Chandrakirti's commentary set forth the position of the opponent. The Chandrakshita Madhyamika, Master Chandrakshita Madhyamika, Saudantrika Madhyamika, Master Bhava Vega. Yeah, okay. Master Bhava Vega, okay. He is Saudantrika Madhyamika. The Saudantrika Madhyamika, Master Bhava Vega, Bhava Viveka. There's one who thinks if the selflessness of phenomena were taught in the hearer's vehicle, then the teaching of a great vehicle would be senseless, meaningless, purposeless. Okay, his system is to be understood as contradictory to reasoning and scripture. Okay, his system is okay. Now the objection is made by Baba Viveka. Okay, Swatantrika Madhyamika Master Baba Viveka made this objection. He's saying that if the selflessness, he's saying that if the selflessness of phenomena were taught in the hearer's vehicle, then the teaching of a great vehicle would be senseless. This is his argument. Okay. So now, in answer to this, okay, Chandrakirti says, your system is to be understood as contradictory to reasoning and scripture. Okay. Buddha Palita, in his commentary on the 7th chapter of Nagarjuna's treatise on the middle, explains the Nagarjuna's statement that the selflessness of all phenomena is taught in lower vehicle sutras, refers to the absence of inherent existence of phenomena. Okay, Buddha Palita said this. Okay, in his commentary on the 7th chapter of Nagarjuna's treatise on the middle. Okay, he explains that Nagarjuna's statement that the selflessness of all phenomena is Nagarjuna's statement that the selflessness of all phenomena is taught in lower sutras, refers to. Okay. The selflessness of all phenomena is taught in lower vehicle sutras, refers to the absence of inherent existence of phenomena. Okay, that is what said by Buddha Palita in his commentary on the 7th chapter. Okay. Baba Viveka refutes. Okay. Baba Viveka refutes this in his Lamb for Wisdom. Okay, Shirab Drama. If that were so, he says, Baba Viveka says, okay, if that were so, the great vehicle teaching would be senseless. Okay. Concerning this, okay, is Baba Viveka saying that if the selflessness of phenomena is stored in the lesser vehicle, in general, the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless, or that the great vehicle teaching of the selflessness of phenomena would be purposeless. Okay. Two questions. Okay, concerning this. Okay, Baba Viveka says that if the selflessness of phenomena is taught in the lesser vehicle, okay, concerning this, is Baba Viveka saying that? Okay, now questioning. Okay, now questioning his argument. Okay, Chandrakirti is questioning. Okay, questioning. 4, I think, Baba Viveka's argument. Okay, is Baba Viveka saying? Are you saying? Okay, are you Baba Viveka saying that if the selflessness of phenomena is taught in a lesser vehicle, in general, okay, the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless, or that the great vehicle teaching of the selflessness of phenomena would be purposeless. Okay, so these two questions. Okay, two options. In the first case, okay, if he says that if the selflessness of phenomena is taught in the lesser vehicle, then great vehicle teaching would be purposeless in general. Great vehicle teaching in general would be purposeless, I think. The great vehicle teaching would, great vehicle teaching in, I think. Great vehicle teaching in general would be purposeless. Great vehicle teaching would be purposeless in general. Okay, it's same, I think. Yeah, now saying this, is Baba Viveka saying that if the selflessness of phenomena is taught in the lesser vehicle, in general, okay, the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless. Okay, I think is Baba Viveka saying that in general, the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless. Okay, I think this is concerning this. Is Baba Viveka saying that in general, the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless, or that the great vehicle teaching of the selflessness of phenomena would be purposeless? Okay. If the selflessness of phenomena is taught in the lesser vehicle, okay. Then, in the first case, if he says, okay, if the selflessness of phenomena is taught in the lesser vehicle, then great vehicle teaching would be purposeless in general. Or if he says this, okay, if the selflessness of phenomena is taught in a lesser vehicle, then the great vehicle teaching would be generally purposeless. Okay, if he says this, okay, if he holds this, how to say, this dilemma, okay, this choice, then in the first case, if his consequence that okay did follow, I think, if, in the first case, if his consequence that did follow, then the great vehicle teaching would be limited to teaching only the selflessness of phenomena. Okay, did follow means in general the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless. Did follow, okay. The great vehicle teaching would be purposeless in general. Generally, the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless. In general, the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless. Did follow? I think, okay. In general, the great vehicle teaching would be purposeless. Did follow from the reason that the selflessness of phenomena is taught in lower vehicle. Then the great vehicle teaching would be limited to teaching only the selflessness of phenomena. Okay, selflessness of phenomena. However, okay, this is not so, because great vehicle also teaches the Bodhisattva grounds, the practice of the profession such as giving and so forth, the great waves of aspirational prayers and dedications, great compassion and so forth, and the great waves of the two collections, the marvelous power of Bodhisattvas, which is inconceivable by common beings, inconceivable nature of phenomena. Okay, this one word is missing here, which is inconceivable nature of phenomena by common beings, hearers and solid realizers. Okay, here nature of phenomena does not refer to any kind of any emptiness. Okay, any ultimate nature of reality. Rather, it just refers to entity. Okay, entity that is qualified by such, entity that is qualified by these quality, these characteristics, characteristics. Okay, these Bodhisattva's grounds, the practice of perfections such as giving and so forth, 6 perfections, 6 practices of 6 perfections, great waves of aspirational prayers and dedications, and great compassion, or these are, and also great waves of 2 collections, and also marvelous power of, I think, marvelous power of Bodhisattvas. Okay, marvelous. This is very marvelous power of Bodhisattvas. Marvelous power of Bodhisattvas. Entities of those. Okay, and which is the entity that is and I think these are all of these. I think all of these are termed as nature of phenomena here. Okay, which is inconceivable nature of phenomena by I think common beings, hearers and soul realizers. Okay. Okay. Marvelous power of Bodhisattvas. Okay. I think this is important for us to know that nature of a phenomena here does not refer to any emptiness or any ultimate nature of reality. Rather, it refers to the entities such as Bodhisattva grounds, the practices of the 10 perfections, I think, and then great waves of aspirational prayers and dedications, great compassion, and great waves of the 2 collections, and marvelous power of Bodhisattvas. These are natural phenomena here. Okay, so marvelous power of Bodhisattva. Okay, see. It also marvelous power. When we say marvelous power of Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattva superior says marvelous power. Okay, they have their their power of clairvoyance, their power of their miraculous power. I think their miraculous power, their power of clairvoyance, and not only that, but also they have so power. Benevolent, I think benevolent power would be okay. Benevolent power, or the power that they are so dedicated to the service of sentient beings, and not only that, their efficiency, power of I think so the power that is inconceivable by common beings, hearers, and soul realizers. Okay, the power I think here also refers to that taking through by means of compassion, great compassion, they take so many rebirths during eons. Okay, for eons and eons they take rebirths. Sometimes they take rebirth as a for destroyer, hearer for destroyers. Sometimes solitary realizer for destroyers. For eons and eons, for the benefit of sentient beings who are I think for the benefit of sentient beings who are suitable, I think who are suitable to such figures, Okay. So these are, marvelous power. I think marvelous power is refers to efficiency, efficient power to do, efficient power to serve sentient beings. That is inconceivable by common beings, hearers and solitary realizers. This is one meaning. And then also it also refers to miraculous power and clairvoyance power. Okay. Okay, now, okay. So, okay, now, so this is quite clear, I think. Buddhists are those aspirational wishes, deeds, and dedications of merit were not described in the hearer's record. Therefore, how could one become? Okay. A Bodhisattva through, oh, wait. Okay. 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 So here, okay. So great waves of nature of by common realize by okay. So by common beings, hearers and solitary realizers. This is wisdom here. Then but now Chandrakirti is relying on a source, okay. Source from Nagajuna's precious garland, okay. That's as a source for this, okay. Chandrakirti quotes from Nagajuna's precious garland, okay, which says, Bodhisattva's aspirations, wishes, deeds, and dedication of merit were not described in the hearer's record. Therefore, how could one become a Bodhisattva? Through it, the subjects concerned with the Bodhisattva deeds were not mentioned in the sutras, but were explained in the great vehicle. Hence, the wise should accept it as Buddha's word. Okay. So okay. These stanzas, I think, were set forth to clear away the wrong idea that one can progress to Buddhahood through just the paths explained in the spiritual division of the hearers, and therefore the Great Vehicle Sutra is not needed. Okay. These stanzas were set forth, I think, to clear away. Okay. Set forth by Nagarjuna to clear away the wrong idea that one can progress to Buddhahood through just the paths explained in spiritual division of hearers, and therefore the Great Vehicle Sutra is not needed. Okay, that's their position. Okay, Chandrakirti is saying that. Chandrakirti is saying that according to you, Baba Viveka. Okay, according to you, Baba Viveka, Nagarjuna should have said, because the selflessness of phenomena is set forth in Great Vehicle, the explanations in the lower vehicle scriptures are not sufficient. Okay. 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 Now I think Chandrak is saying that according to you, okay, Nagarjuna should have said that. Should have said that. Okay. Should have said that because the selflessness of phenomena is taught in the Great Vehicle. The explanations in the lower vehicle scriptures are not sufficient. Okay. Okay. Should have said this. Okay. But Nagarjuna did not say this, but spoke of the other class, that is the West. Okay. Compassionate motivation and deeds of the Great Vehicle. I think that is, Yeah, okay. Chandrak is saying that, okay, not because the selflessness phenomenon is set forth in the great vehicle, the explanations in the lower vehicle scriptures are not sufficient, okay. Not sufficient for the attainment of Buddhahood, I think. Not sufficient for the attainment of Buddhahood. Okay. So Chandrak is saying here, okay, that according to you, Bhava Viveka, Nagarjuna should have said, okay, should have responded that because the selflessness of phenomena is set forth in great vehicle, okay. So therefore, the explanations in the lower vehicle scriptures are not sufficient for the attainment of Buddhahood. Okay, he should have said this. Okay, if the selflessness of phenomena is not taught in Hinayana Sutra, okay, if the selflessness of phenomena is not taught in Hinayana Sutra, Hero Sutra, okay, then Nagarjuna should have said that because the selflessness of phenomena is set forth in great vehicle, the explanations in the lower vehicle scriptures are not sufficient for the attainment of Buddhahood. But however, Nagarjuna did not say this, okay? But he spoke of other class. That means that other class. The teaching of great vehicle teaching is not purposeless, okay? It is okay. He spoke of other class. That is the West. I think here. See here. I think I've said this. See here. Okay. The Great Vehicle also teaches. Okay. Great Vehicle teaches the Bodhisattva's grounds, the practice of the profession, and such as giving and so forth. Okay. These. Okay. So therefore, even Hinayana Sutra teaches emptiness. Mahayana Sutra would not become, how to say, purposeless, because Mahayana Sutra, Great Vehicle Sutra, is not only set forth, okay, only for the purpose of teaching emptiness. It is also set forth to teach, I think, other class, that means to teach, I think, to teach Bodhisattva grounds, the practice of the perfections, such as giving and so forth, and also great waves of aspirational prayers and dedications, great compassion and so forth, and also great waves of the two collections, okay, wisdom and skillful means, okay, and also marvelous power of Bodhisattva, okay, also especially for the purpose of teaching these materials, Bodhisattva Great Vehicle Sutra is set forth. Okay. Or Great Vehicle Sutra is taught for this particular purpose. Okay. So so therefore, Nagarjuna did not say, Nagarjuna, in answer to this, okay, see, Okay. So, see the idea, wrong idea, okay, that one can progress to Buddhahood through just the path explained in the scriptural division of hearers, okay. This is the, okay. This is the wrong idea, okay. So in order to clear away this wrong idea, okay, Nagarjuna did not answer, okay, that because the self-listener phenomena is set forth in the greater vehicle, the explanations in the lower vehicle scripture are not sufficient for the attainment of Buddhahood. Rather, he answers that Great Vehicle Sutra is taught for the purpose of, okay, for the purpose of presenting Bodhisattva grounds and grounds of the practice of professions such as giving and so forth, great works, expression, praise and dedications, and so on. Yeah, and so on. Okay. Now I think, okay. 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 I think, oh, we can stop here. I think if you have some questions, we can deal with your questions.
Geshe, you were mentioning before the 18 factors, and then we're describing some of them, the first 8 belonging to this, the last 10 belonging to that. Where are these 18 factors coming from? I got a bit lost.
18 factors from this sutra, Hinayana Sutra. You see here, okay, Hinayana Sutra. Hinayana Sutra. See here. In Tibetan, okay, I'm not going to say in Tibetan, okay. Here. Here, okay. Here, can you see this? Lower Virga Sutra cited by Chandrakirti's commentary on 60 stanzas of reasoning. Okay, so we cannot find this, okay, in our Buddha's canon, okay, that is in Tibetan, okay, in Tibetan language, okay. But it is cited in Chandrakirti's commentary on 60 stanzas of reasoning, okay. We cannot find this separately in Buddha's canon, okay. But we can find it quoted, okay. We can find it where it is quoted, okay. So for instance, here, Chandrakirti quoted this, okay. Chandrakirti's commentary on 60 stanzas of reasoning, okay. A Lower Vehicle Sutra cited by Chandrakirti's commentary on 60 stanzas of reasoning says, this which is entire abandonment of this suffering. Did you get this? This which is.
Yes, I understand now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So there are 18. The first 8 are taught in terms of this life. Last 10 are taught in terms of future life.
Some of us were discussing the teachings yesterday after class, and we were wondering how, on this particular topic, you relate these teachings to how you practiced in everyday life.
Oh, these teachings, boils down to, all of these teachings are dealing with, I think, dealing with means to achieve Buddhahood. For instance, here, I think, for instance, here, when we are talking about emptiness here, emptiness, okay, emptiness, how Buddha taught emptiness in Hinayana Sutra, and how Buddha taught emptiness in Mahayana Sutra, and how we should relate them, to each other, and also as an aspirant to achieve Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings, we also need to know the mental disposition of Hinayana, or how to say, lesser vehicle sentient being, lesser vehicle person, I think, person who are interested in lesser vehicle, okay, or hero vehicle, or solitary realizer vehicle, okay. So therefore, I think we need to study, okay, okay, Hero Sutras, Hero and Solitary Realizer Sutras, okay. Solitary Realizer Sutra is, there's no separate Solitary Realizer Sutra from Hero Sutra, okay. Sutra is same. If it is a Hero Sutra for heroes, then it should be Sutra for solitary realizers. Okay. So okay. So, and also, how they, it is very quite useful for oneself to know how they represent, how they teach. I think how those passages teach emptiness, and how they what sort of examples they use, and how the emptiness, okay, how the such and such, the emptiness of such and such are analogous to examples, their respective examples. And then through this, through knowing how to, how this example, how such and such, for instance, form, bubbles, mirage, form, bubbles, mirage, and then banana tree, illusion. These are 5 examples. These how the 5 aggregates are. 5 aggregates are, I think. Yeah, I think. 5 aggregates. How to say? 5 aggregates are analogous, I think. 5 aggregates are analogous to those examples. Okay, examples. Okay, so how these examples, okay, how these examples represent the emptiness of form, feeling, discrimination, and compositional factor and consciousness. Okay, so these are very helpful to more clearly, to more, these are very helpful, to more clearly, okay, know or understand the meaning of emptiness of form and so on and so forth. And also here, okay, see, talks about, Bodhisattva's qualities, 6 perfections, the aspirational, dedication and prayers, and 2 accumulations, then marvelous power, inconceivable by common beings, hearers, and solitary realizers. So we need to know these more and in more detail. Then we will, we will be able to clear away I think, more ignorance, okay. More ignorance that would hinder ourselves from progressing, from making progress towards Buddhahood. Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much, Geshe. And thank you for giving these teachings on Labab Duchen Day. So happy Labab Duchen to you. Online.
You too.
And we'll now close this session with the prayers. May the spiritual teachers who lead me on the sacred path, and the spiritual friends who practice it have long life. May I pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. Grant such inspiration, I pray. May the lives of the venerable spiritual mentors be stable, and their virtuous actions spread in the 10 directions. May the light of Lupsang teachings dispelling the darkness of the beings in the 3 worlds always increase. Iram gurana mandalakam niryatayami. Due to this merit, may we soon attain the awakened state of Guru Buddha, that we may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their sufferings. May the precious body mind not yet born arise and grow. May the born have no decline but increase forevermore. In the snowy mountain pure land, you're the source of good and happiness. Powerful Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezi, may you stay until samsara ends. Thank you so much, Geshe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you.